We're back here at the National Firearms Museum here at NRA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. Logan Metesh, Firearms Specialist. What in the world? You've brought a few things to the table. The table will barely support this one, but what is this crazy contraption, sir?
This is the official National Firearms Museum complaint department. You know, take a number. This is really, really cool. So this is a Hotchkiss revolving cannon in miniature. So Mr. Hotchkiss comes up with the design for his revolving cannon in 1870. And it's a really neat design because it's designed to fire either exploding shells or solid shot at a fairly long distance. But his mechanism is actually really, really cool. So the barrels rotate in order to switch out, to load the cartridge, to fire it, and then eject the cartridge.
Wow.
But the pieces don't, the barrels don't move while that's going on, and the back opens up on this model. You can see all the working spots. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But this was built in 1885, and we believe that it was actually made for a French museum. So it's very fitting that it is once again in a museum. You know, I mentioned miniature scale. The full-size Hotchkiss fires a 37 millimeter round. This fires an 11 millimeter French service round that was actually in popular use in French revolvers at that time. So it's way scaled down. But it did shoot. It shot 11 millimeter cartridges.
So this is working.
This does work.
Works.
Yes.
So cool. I mean, everything's miniaturized. I mean, the mechanism, the
crank and everything.
And there's down here, we'll get some detailed shots. There's a mechanism to move the gun around.
Exactly.
And to load here, to eject there.
Yep. Yeah, wow. It was a fully functioning miniature. You know, it's like the guys that used to go around with the mini pianos, try to sell you a piano. This is way cooler than being a mini piano salesman. You know.
Lord. So the Hotchkiss went into the full size one. You said was
the 1870s is when he designed this.
Where did he? I guess saw service in some of the French action over there.
Yes, and the Hotchkiss, it actually some of his designs were in use through the 1880s and stuff. But you know, then technology starts to eclipse, and you end up with fully automatic machine guns and things of that nature, and just time marches on.
Real practical though for what you need to do at the time. Now my question is, as you crank that. On the big one, who's cranking that thing? Like 15 guys?
No, you know, with all the gears, it's designed to move easily, you know, and a standard rate of fire was 30 rounds a minute.
Wow.
And you could do rapid fire, and they considered rapid fire 60 to 80 rounds a minute, and that was achieved with a 3-man crew. Okay. So you've got one guy who's adjusting your elevation in the windage, you got a guy who's cranking, and you've got a guy who's loading more rounds. But still, 60 to 80 rounds of 37 millimeter explosive shells. That's some serious stuff going there.
The big one is sort of like a Gatling gun on steroids, you know?
Absolutely.
So how did this make its way to the museum here? What's sort of how did it get here?
Yeah, so this is part of the Robert E. Peterson collection. You know, Bob Peterson.
Why I'm not surprised.
Yeah, the publishing magnate, and he acquired it during his decades of collecting. And when we were going through selecting pieces, this was why not?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
he just had incredibly cool eclectic taste. It's all surrounding us. We're in the Peterson Gallery here, and it's like everything from the finest double guns to shotguns engraved with it, and then stuff like this. I mean, there's a whole over that way. There's a whole case of Gatling guns.
Right, which is where this one normally sits.
That's awesome.
You know, people ask me this: what kind of collector was Bob Peterson? I said he collected things that went bang. You know, anything and everything. So this mini Hotchkiss fits in perfectly because it's technological,
it's awesome,
and it's art.
And it belongs on my desk, Logan. Can I borrow it for a while?
Well, you remember I did say this was the complaint department, so
yeah, I need it for my office. Please.
Let me adjust the.
How can we see this beautiful thing and all these other treasures here at the Peterson Gallery?
Sure, yeah. So the Peterson Gallery is at the National Firearms Museum and NRA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. We're open 364 days a year. So come see us any day but Christmas, and you can ogle this miniature Hotchkiss and a whole bunch of other Gatlings all in one case.